What's happening? This is David Banner with WRUG Media Group. Yeah.
Hey, yo, mic check 1 2 1 2. Out of all the interviews I've been chasing, this is one that I've been looking. I said I would not sleep until I get this man on this microphone. But let's jump right into it because I got a lot of questions. I want to try to get much in as possible. Now, with all the publicity that's been going on surrounding shootings of unarmed black men, what do you think we as a people, as far as the media, what do we need to do to get more involved, especially black media?
Man, I think what black media can do is stop feeding into the way that America portrays black people. I'll give you an example. Hip-hop blog sites talk about hip-hoppers more than anybody else does. Right. Back in the day, I remember when I went to Chicago and I got a chance to go to Jet magazine. We went to Jet and Ebony. And they said back in the day, there was an unwritten code that you protect black people. So it's like, the stars back in the day were doing the same thing that the stars are doing now. You know, right. Extramarital sex, drugs, all of the rest of the things. But the media protected their core base, and we don't protect our core base. We treat our core base worse than our oppressor. Right. So I think we just should just start doing better. And then if you're gonna report something bad, I mean, have some balance. Right. I remember one time a conglomerate told me it doesn't matter, positivity doesn't sell. So it's like I told her, because I think I was sending a group of 80 kids, right, you know, to another state, and I was like, I bet you if I shot somebody, you would put some news coverage on that, and they were like, basically, yeah, you just got to do a better job.
So what do you think when you wake up and you see on the cover of Time magazine, you see a police officer shooting an unarmed black man? What does that say as far as when you see major media like Time magazine saying, okay, enough is enough, we need to start doing something about that?
Well, it scares me to a certain perspective. I mean, it scares me in a certain way. And the reason is because when you get media coverage now, that means that something 10 times as bad will have to happen in order to get that type of media coverage again. So what I was like, dude, well, if it's going to happen, then we have to make sure that we strike now. We have to take this moment and either mobilize our people or make sure that some type of policies are in place that make sure that this doesn't happen again. Because you know how America moves. It moves like the people move. And if we don't do something about it, then nothing to change.
Right. So what would you say to like young brothers? You know, young brothers, man, we can get 30 or 40 people together, you know, for a movement depending on what it is we're trying to do. So what would you say to them young brothers that have that influence out here in these streets?
Love yourself. You know what I'm saying? I think the biggest problem in our community is black people won't admit that most black people don't want to be black. You know, we don't find any value in ourselves. Right. We find value in everybody else's culture but ourselves, right, and our own culture. I think most of the things will stop happening in our community if there were some repercussions to it. You know what I'm saying? If people knew that if you did something to an innocent black child, regardless of whether you black, white, Latino, whoever you may end up being, if there's repercussions to it, people wouldn't do it.